Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up with Wasted, another Red Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. I went to bed last night, kind of trying to process what happened with Kliff Kingsbury and thinking about who were some of the guys that were going to be brought in. I was one thing I was happy about that Hugh Jackson's in the building. Hugh Jackson wouldn't have been my first choice to be an offensive coordinator, but he's had some success in the National Football League. And I heard the name of Luke Getsy around, league circles. He was considered to be, the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. They brought him in. There were a lot of other teams that the Saints brought him in. So, around league circles, Luke Getsy's name is not mud, right? Now in Chicago, his name is mud, right? Now, there are a lot of people that are outraged about this move. There's some people saying, "Oh, don't try to put a positive spin on this. This is horrible. This is the disaster." And what I'll tell you is this: I don't know whether it's a disaster or not. Neither do you. And there are a few things that I'm going to debunk here going forward. Now, he hasn't officially been hired yet. We gotta kind of pump our brakes because we thought that the Kliff Kingsbury thing was a done deal. And we come to find out until that pen to paper touches, nothing is definite. But what I will tell you is this about Luke Getsy. There are some people on one side of this argument that say he's horrible. How could you bring this guy in? There are some people on one side of the argument that are saying, "Oh, this is a great hire." And I'm telling you that in life, there's black, there's white, but life is a whole bunch of gray. And I think the gray area is where the answer to this situation lies. The gray area is where this lies. So we got to break this down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it from both sides, and you guys can surmise what you want. Because at this point, I really don't know. Like there's a part of me that when people say that Luke Getsy's terrible, I got to look at it and I'm like, man, Getsy has not been the greatest as far as, what happened in Chicago. The Chicago Bears were ranked, 23rd in points per game, 19.2. Last year they got up to about 21.2 at the end of the season. You know what I mean? They were in yards per play 24th, which is 5 yards per play. They were 24th in first downs per play. And red zone attempts, they were 20th in the National Football League, right? And their numbers were very, very similar in 2022. Now, Luke Getsy does come from the Matt LaFleur line. He was in Green Bay. He was a quarterback coach there for a few years. He worked with Davante Adams when he broke in, the wide receivers coach. So Luke Getsy he's come from a pretty good lineage because Matt LaFleur is one of the offensive bright spots in the National Football League, right? So if you look at this, right, you look at the Bears offense, you say the Bears offense is woeful, man. But to be real with you, the Chicago Bears is an organization that has historically struggled on offense. Historically. The Bears do not have a 4,000-yard passer in their history. In their history. There was a push by Ryan Poles in the beginning of the season stating that he wanted Justin Fields to be their first 4,000-yard passer. Now think about this. The Chicago Bears are one of the first organizations in professional football. George Halas is the father of the whole NFL, right? The Bears, the Packers, the Canton Bulldogs. I mean, we talk about that NFL. Red Grange, the Galloping Ghost. This is what we're talking about back in the day, 100 years ago. This is how long the Chicago Bears have been around. And you mean to tell me in the history of the Chicago Bears, they have not had a 4,000-yard passer? So we got to look at it from that standpoint, right? Guys, we got over 240 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And I'm going to be real with you. Davante Adams is another caveat. Now, if you're going to look at it on the positive side of things, Davante Adams has worked with Luke Getsy. And if you mean to tell me that this organization has not gone to Davante Adams and conferred with him about his opinions on Luke Getsy, I will tell you that you're smoking D&D. Now, does Davante Adams, is he a guy who, has final cut or any decision-making power? No. But I'm sure, these people will go and sit down and talk to possibly their greatest player who has a close relationship with this guy. So this is what we know, right? What we know is if Luke Getsy gets hired, the Justin Fields talk is effectively dead because, Luke Getsy and Justin Fields didn't have the best relationship. Now, Luke Getsy has talked glowingly about Justin Fields, but on the other end of that caveat, Justin Fields was not a fan of Luke Getsy. He wasn't a fan of his play calling. And, there are a lot of people in Chicago who are not a fan of Luke Getsy's play calling, right? And also, Luke Getsy was brought in to develop Justin Fields. And that's a piece of this too. Justin Fields has not developed as far as passing at all. He at all is a little harsh, right? But it's very, very complicated though. You know what I'm saying? Luke Getsy is an offensive coordinator who tries to tailor his scheme from week to week to the opponent. So there were certain things that one week the Bears will look a certain way, and the next week they look another one, right? Matt Eberflus is a guy who was pretty much on board with Luke Getsy. He spoke glowingly of him. He hired him, right? And Getsy, to give you guys a little glimpse, there's an article in Athletic, months ago where they were talking about, Luke Getsy and his approach and his game plan and philosophies and what goes on in creating a call sheet for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. And, he talks about his shift in play calling from week to week. He says you have a team and you have plays, a shell coverage and man coverage in Washington. And then when you have a team in Minnesota that only plays a zone, they pressure everybody or give an illusion of pressure and drop in the coverage. Those are pretty significantly different issues. And if you have an offense that's been together for 4, 5, or 6 years, you may have a plan for that. But in a situation we have here in Chicago, we don't have that and we're developing that. So he doesn't have all the answers at one point. We got over 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I know it's early on the West Coast. Shout out to everybody from the West Coast who's rocking with the Beast of the East. It is now 7:40 in the a.m. I wanted you guys to wake up with this content, man. It is 10:40 right here on the East Coast, man. Getsy wanted to get the ball out quickly, man. He wanted to have like a timing offense. And if I'm being honest, Justin Fields was not Luke Getsy's guy. That wasn't his guy. But on his resume, on the negative part of this, that's on his resume. He did not develop Justin Fields. He didn't. But conversely, people blame, Luke Getsy around the league for how Justin Fields hasn't developed, or the fact that he can't throw the football the way people would like, right? And people give him all of this blame. But I don't see anybody giving Luke Getsy any, kudos for him going in with Tyler Bagent and winning 2 games with a Division II undrafted quarterback, including beating us, right? So everything is his fault on one end, and then on the other end, it's not. Now, around league circles, Luke Getsy is well respected amongst coaches, right? Amongst players, Justin Fields is very, very respected. And they think he wasn't coached right. So which 2 of these caveats are true? Which 2 of these caveats are true? Now, what I will tell you is this, man. Luke Getsy is very, very good off schedule. He's very, very good drawing things up. There's a play that Luke Getsy used that the Chiefs actually used on us on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It was a Luke Getsy play where Getsy was, receiving praise against the Lions, man. The Chiefs ran the same play on Christmas, and it ran to an Isaiah Pacheco touchdown. So, he's an innovative mind, man. He does a really, really, really good job at getting guys out in space and getting them the football, right? And the tenure around the league is a lot different than a lot of people would say to you, man. There's a disconnect, man, of how people view Luke There really is. The fan base and Justin Fields were not very fond of him. But like I said before, around league circles and the fact that he's been on the interview circle, he's been interviewed so much and considered for jobs so much, it goes to show you how he's viewed around the league. Now, Luke Getsy has done very, 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 very well, y'all. Very well, like as far as running the football. You know, the Chicago Bears have had a great running offense. Now, how much of that is Luke Getsy? And how much of that is Justin Fields? Because Justin Fields is dynamic running the football. I haven't seen a quarterback since Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton who has been as dynamic as Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people talk about, you know, how well Luke Getsy has done, you know, in Green Bay. And they talk about, you know, him being, you know, a guy who's a quarterback coach of a guy named Aaron Rodgers. But it's not like he developed Aaron Rodgers. Luke Getsy gets there, becomes Aaron Rodgers' offensive, not offensive, but quarterback coach. It's like, you know, it's like, can you give him credit for that? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's one of the great quarterbacks of all time. So can we give him credit for that? I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I will tell you is this, man. Everybody says he's been hired already. Let me tell you something. They said he's been hired already. I'll believe it when I see somebody from the Raiders on the screen say that he's been hired. Because it was reported that I've heard from people in the organization, Kliff Kingsbury is hired. It's a done deal, and it wasn't. So to me, unless I see it, I don't give a damn. Now, there's 400 in the room, y'all. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm enjoying a piece of toast in my coffee right now. I'm going to get to some of y'all comments. And we're going to continue to break this down. But there are two things that we got to deal with right now. One, there have been a lot of rumors about Justin Fields coming here. I don't think that that's going to happen at this point. I don't think it doesn't make any sense for the Raiders to pair together two guys where it didn't work, right? Also, I think it comes into question whether or not the Bears are out on Justin Fields. And I think things are going to work out a little differently than we expect at the top of the draft. I think things are going to work out a little different than what we see at the top of the draft. And I'm going to get into that. Shout out to my brother T. Severe and the place to be. Luke Getsy was the passing game coordinator under LaFleur in Green Bay. Part of what went wrong in Chicago are the extreme limitations of Fields as a passer. And I'm going to get into that, T. Severe. That's what I was hinting to, my brother. I appreciate you for the comment. Dope comment. So this is the thing. In Chicago, it is looking like Ryan Poles and the brain trust there are committed to Justin Fields. It looks that way to me, right? Because if Eberflus was a guy who was in on Luke Getsy, right? Even up to like one of the last games of the season. And then he had to jettison him and fire him after 2 years, right? It looks like they did that to develop Justin Fields. Now, if they were going out and they were getting another quarterback, they do have the number one pick in the draft. They probably would keep a bright mind like that in the building and shop Justin Fields. And I'm going to be honest with you. I really feel like there is a lot that is going on here that we don't see yet. Now, you got a lot of people that are running around and saying the sky is falling. You have other people that are overly optimistic. And you got people who are saying that Luke Getsy is so terrible, and they didn't even know who Luke Getsy was 2 days ago. So we definitely have to pump the brakes on that. We also got to pump the brakes on calling this dysfunctional. How is this dysfunctional? How is this egg on a Raiders' face? Because Kliff Kingsbury decided that he wanted to withdraw his name from consideration. How is that the Raiders' fault? They thought they hired the best guy for the job. They wanted him. I wanted Kliff Kingsbury. A lot of people said it was a great hire, and he withdrew his name. Now, people say it's money. I tend not to believe that. Mark Davis isn't poor. And there's another caveat. I want to get to this too. I want you guys to stop saying that this is Mark Davis's fault. Mark Davis is not hiring the offensive coordinator. Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco are building this staff. It's not Mark Davis is not the football guy. He's not the football guy. He's the owner. He signs the checks. He signs the checks. Now, Kliff Kingsbury is going to the Washington Commanders. Now, maybe it was, him not having as easy of a swing to get Caleb Williams. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. There have been rumors that Caleb Williams is trying to force himself to the Washington Commanders. The guy's from the area, and he has shown no interest in playing in Chicago. So there's a few things we got to unpack here, man. We got almost 500 in the room. Get wasted with your brother ways. I can't believe there's as many of you guys here this early in the morning, man. It was all good 2 days ago, like my man Ben Robert said. And now y'all saying it's dysfunction. Yo, look, nation, I'm going to speak to y'all. Y'all got to chill, man. Y'all got to chill with the up and down shit. The only thing we have to deal with is we have Luke Getsy's record, we have his job history, and we have how he lines up with Antonio Pierce and the brain trust in the Raiders right now. Some people used to say that Patrick Graham was a bad defensive coordinator. Look how bad he was with the Giants. And then there was some of us where, when things didn't come to fruition, we were like, what's going on, Patrick Graham? I thought he was supposed to be so great. And then the minute Josh McDaniels was fired, the whole situation turned around. So is it and now Patrick Graham is a genius to us all, right? So is it the head coach? Because a lot of people think, and shout out to Hondo Carpenter. Hondo Carpenter tweeted this. Shout out to my guy Hondo. And let me find that tweet from Hondo Carpenter, man. Let me find that tweet from Hondo Carpenter. Y'all bear with your brother Wasted. You know I'm Boomer McBoomer Tech. Let me find Hondo Carpenter, man. Hondo Carpenter had a terrific tweet, man, and it got me to thinking. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hondo. That's what Hondo does. He gets you to thinking, man. Shout out to one of the GOATs over there doing what he does, man. You know what I mean? But I gotta find this tweet by Hondo Carpenter. Golly, man. Okay. He said, can confirm that the Raiders are working on an agreement to hire ex-Bears OC Luke Getsy as an OC, similar to Patrick Graham post-Giants. Getsy, highly respected around the NFL. With the recent lack of success, that's the predicament. Is the predicament more on the head coach and the organizational failure than him? And to me, I feel like most people around the league put it on the head coach, Eberflus, and the Chicago Bears organization than they do on Luke Getsy because he was interviewed a lot. It's a guy that was interviewed a lot. This is a man who was interviewed a lot. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And see, this is the thing, man. Now, Walt said, Hondo also said last year Renfro would get traded. Hondo, the thing about not Hondo, but Walt, thing about stuff like that is, bro, things are subjective, bro. There could be a trade on the horizon and somebody backs out at the last minute. The same thing with Kliff Kingsbury. I think you guys are getting too hyperbolic with this. You said he wasn't hired yet. The Super Bowl's not even over. The Super Bowl's not even over, bro. Maybe there are people who want to take a look at some of the successful coaches on Andy Reid's staff or the 49ers staff. Maybe that's what it is. Just because he wasn't, that means that to me, that means nothing, bro. It means nothing. We got to calm down here, bro. We don't know whether it's a good hire or not. What we got to do is we got to calm the fuck down here. People are saying that it's a dumpster fire. People are putting, I saw somebody on Twitter, which is flagrant and some corny shit, putting a clown wig on Antonio Pierce. For what? When you the same people who 2 weeks ago were praising him and yelling Raiders, I'm saying everything was right with the world. So we got a real Raider in the building. You have the Jim Harbaugh camp. You got the people who were talking about Jim Harbaugh. And why didn't we hire Jim Harbaugh? And you guys don't even know if it was an option for us to hire Jim Harbaugh. You don't even know. You don't know whether Jim Harbaugh even considered coaching the Raiders. Because in your mind, because we're Raider fans, you think that the Raiders is everyone's first choice, and they're not. Jim Harbaugh, I just read an article about Jim Harbaugh calling Justin Herbert the crown jewel of the National Football League, bruh. When people told you and you heard rumors about him going to the Chargers, it's a reason you heard those rumors. Because he likes Justin Herbert and wanted to coach him. Listen, when you come into an organization, you take over an organization, especially a guy like Jim Harbaugh who's been there, done that, has done well everywhere he's been. It takes a lot off of your plate to be able to come into the National Football League and know you don't have to draft your starting quarterback. He's already there. Right? So if you're a head coach and you take the teams out of the equation, you take the cities out of the equation, and you walk in the building and you know you have a high-end left tackle, you have one of the 5 or 6 best pass rushers in the National Football League, and you have one of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League. I would say probably, a top 8 quarterback. How does that suit you? And the only problem you have is cap space, which, the Saints have proved the salary cap is like almost imaginary money if you're willing to kick the can down the street, right? So, guys, we need to chill here, man. Everybody's like, oh, Harbaugh. How do you know Harbaugh would have picked us? Because the only thing I saw was he never was brought in for an interview here. I didn't hear any rumors about him being brought in for an interview here. He interviewed Arthur Blank, who has a huge checkbook, one of the founders of Home Depot, down in Atlanta, another team with a lot of talent and a higher draft pick than we have, and a team that has Justin Herbert, Khalil Mack, freaking Joey Bosa, Derwin James, all of these names, bro, and Rashawn Slater, all these names. How, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know whether Jim Harbaugh even wanted to come here, and you guys are blaming the Raiders brass for not hiring him. It's poppycock. That's what it is. It's nonsense. It's effing nonsense. My guy, Jose Toscano, with the $10 holla, man, appreciate you. We've got to pump the brakes. We have no idea what it's like to go through interviews in the NFL, nor do we know how to run a football team. Let AB do his job, nation. Much respect. Much respect to you, Jose Toscano. I don't know whether this is like, I'm not going to sit up here and come here and tell y'all that everything is great and everything is sunshine and rainbows and unicorn farts. I'm not going to tell y'all that. I don't know. But I'm not going to come here and shit all over this move because Luke Getsy has a nice resume. And there's some positive things that he did in Chicago that line up with our team and our roster. There are some positives from the man. Are there some negatives? Yeah. But is that more an issue of the limitations of Justin Fields as a processor of information and a passer? Let's be for real here. Is this more about the organization than Justin Fields? Is it? Patrick B. Harbaugh never wanted to coach the Raiders. And that could be a stone cold lead pipe fact if I've ever effing seen one. Let me get to some of these supers, man. My guy, Raider Laker. I can see us drafting Penix Jr. now that we got Getsy as our OC. Seems like Penix Jr. would be a good fit for Getsy. I think so too. Because the one thing that Michael Penix Jr. is he's accurate. If he's nothing else, he's accurate. Right? If he's nothing else, he's a timing thrower. I can definitely see that happening. My guy, Anthony Chavez. Wasted. You think the Kliff thing was about having experienced coaches, Hugh Lewis, and Kliff feeling micromanaged? Possibility. Kliff to Washington because Caleb going, I think it's more so because of Caleb Williams being micromanaged by who? By who? I mean, Antonio Pierce is not Josh McDaniels when it comes to on the offense. He's a guy who played linebacker, has been on the defensive side of the ball. So why would you feel if you're the top guy as far as, play calling and design and things like that? Now, Antonio Pierce is the top guy as far as the coaching staff goes, but being micromanaged, how could you be micromanaged by an underling of yours? And to me, that makes no sense, bro. That makes no sense. Chuck the Jedi. Football acumen is far and wide in this fan base. Maybe 5% are genuinely worthy of understanding how this shit works and can speak objectively on it consistently. That's a fact. We got almost 700 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. This is a splendiferous occasion. It's early as hell in the morning, man. And y'all are up rocking with your boy, the Beast of the East. Appreciate y'all. Times Marshall, Equinox. You're damn right, man. Bourbon County Raider, my brother. AP can't control the fact that Kingsbury bailed on us, like McDaniels did to the Colts. Yeah, offensively, Kliff would have been cool, but it doesn't seem like a Raider. Bye, Felicia. Shout out to you, my brother. Look, I don't have 100% confirmation on this hiring. This hiring is as confirmed as the Kliff Kingsbury hiring was. I don't have it. I don't have any comment. It's too early in the morning. I don't want to be banging anybody's line this early in the morning to find out whether this is completely true. So that's also another caveat of this. There's also another caveat is that there's, I need to find out whether this is 100% at this point. This is not who we wanted, but real Raider fans understand it's not about the glitz and the glamour all the time. It's about scheme, personnel, win, lose, or draw, Raiders for life. Shout out to Sean Huggins, man. That's my dog, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Sean. Sorry, man. Let me get down to this super, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got almost 700 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Everybody on Twitter. Everybody that's watching me can hear my voice. Y'all make sure y'all come on over to Raider Nation Unlimited. We have cookies. It is early in the morning. We have some great coffee. You know what I mean? I had a bomb-ass piece of sourdough toast. Right? Got 2 days at the gym popping too. After this episode, we going to the gym. Then I got some stuff to do with the kids. So let me tell y'all something. That's one of the reasons why we are rocking out early today, like we always do. Wake up with wasted during the season, man. My guy, Mr. SHS43. Love AP, but this is his first mistake. Hopeful. How do you know this is a mistake already, bro? How is it a mistake already? I just need to know in the chat. Tell me something tangible that I need to draw onto to say that this is an abject failure and mistake. You tell me why. And when you tell me that, tell me how many of you really know about what's going on with the Chicago Bears in depth. Unless it's a Bears fan, I don't want to hear this shit. Like real rap. Larry DM with the $5 holla. Appreciate you, dog. My belief is Kliff played the Raiders and is just using them as leverage and had his agent leak that he was close to signing. That's a possibility. But, it's more than just his agent that leaked that, bro. My guy Intel is in a place to be. Shout out to Intel. We're really hiring this ne'er-do-well. Please say this is some sort of hallucination. This is the first hire that doesn't move the needle for me. And, bro, every one of these hires are not going to move the needle for us because we are not the ones doing the interviews. We're not the ones doing the tape. Now, this is the thing about Luke Getsy, man. Once I hired that Luke Getsy, Luke Getsy was hired, right? I woke up, I was going to the gym, and then I got stuck. And I said, you know what? I got to look into this guy, right? So I don't have any all 22 on Luke Getsy. So it's hard to evaluate what's going on when you don't got the all 22 tape of the Bears and stuff and how the defense plays and the offense plays because you can't really see the whole field like that. You can't see the whole field. When you look at highlights are great, but it's a reason why they highlights, right? They don't have a lot of low light reels on YouTube. So it's very, very hard to evaluate what he's good at and what he's not. The only thing you could do is look at the numbers, and the numbers are skewed and subjective because of a guy that's as limited as a passer as Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields has the physical ability and talent, but he is not developed as a passer, and that's been an issue. That's been an issue, man. And you can't say That's not a caveat of this, and that's not a part of this. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this, right, Luke Getsy and the way that he does his thing kind of lines up. So it's a run heavy offensive approach. So that kind of lines up with the kind of team. We got a hard nosed smash mouth football team at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I like some of the things I saw from Luke Getsy, man. From a scheme perspective, he used his tight end. And one of the positives about Luke Getsy is how he's helped Cole Kmet develop. I love that. I love that, man. He runs some read option stuff, but he kind of had to because of the personnel. Now, what people don't understand in the National Football League, you can have a scheme, right? But you have to run a scheme that is congruent with your personnel. The Chicago Bears don't have a lot of offensive talent. They really don't. They don't have a lot of offensive talent. I'm going to say it again. They don't have a lot of offensive talent. So you can have this scheme that you saw and that you got from LaFleur, and you look at the Green Bay Packers and they got these guys around, and you come to Chicago, and it's one thing to run that with Aaron Rodgers. It's a whole nother thing to run that shit with Justin Fields. So Luke Getsy is pretty much a prisoner of who he has in the roster. Now, is it up to you to tailor your roster to the person that you have? 100%, right? But at the end of the day, it's up to these guys to execute as well. It is up to these guys to execute as well. And it's a lot of things that he was not able to do with Justin Fields. So I'm just going to be real with you. And a lot of people, the same people who are bitching about this are the same people who are bitching about us bringing in Kliff Kingsbury. These are the very same people. I see some of y'all names. I have a very good memory. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I'm able to pull shit from back 30 years ago in my mind. That's why I was always a really good student, because I have a great memory. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm good at my job, because I have a great memory. That's why I'm good at this, is because I have a great memory. And I see some of you people in this chat who shall remain nameless who are bagging on the Kliff Kingsbury move. And now y'all are bagging on this move. And I got to ask myself, some people just like being miserable. And y'all aren't going to be happy until y'all see us hoisting Lombardi. And yo, you're welcome to be that way. You are welcome to be that way, right? But guys, you gotta chill. You gotta chill with that shit. Now, this is a few other things I saw from Luke Getsy too, man. A lot of play action, a lot of bootlegs. His scheme, has pretty solid execution at times. I think the best his scheme ever looked was with Tyler Bagent, which is crazy to me. And his scheme fits very well with our personnel, man. That offensive line was atrocious in Chicago. And that's another piece of it. The offensive line was atrocious. We got over 700 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Lakeshore Raider, here we go with this Penix bullshit. Just fine being mediocre. Yo, Lakeshore Raider, let me ask you a question, bro. If the Raiders don't get one of the top 3 guys, do you suggest they don't draft a quarterback? So the people who are left over, who would you prefer that they draft? Who would you prefer, Lakeshore? I'm just asking, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if we can't listen, if Drake May is not available to us, if Caleb Williams is not available to us, which is not like getting Caleb Williams is a pipe dream for the Raiders. We had 13, bro. We do not have a top 5 pick. It is a lot easier to move up in a draft to get a top 5 pick. But when you at 13, that shit is hard. You have to mortgage the entire future. And then that's if they're willing to listen. Most teams, when they feel like there's a generational guy on the board, they're not trying to listen, bro. If they feel like they got the guy that's going to supplant Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the NFL and they can draft him, bro, there's nothing that's messing with that. There's nothing that's messing. There's not a player in the NFL that a team wouldn't trade to get Patrick Mahomes. There's not one player in the NFL. You can go up and down, all the great players up and down this league. If the Chiefs said, give me your best player, everybody, all of 31 teams, put your best player up. And if we're willing to, you know what I'm saying, if we like that best player, we want to get rid of Patrick Mahomes. Now, I know this is a stupid scenario, right? But just think about this. There is not one team who wouldn't consider trading their best player to get Patrick Mahomes. So this is the thing about Caleb Williams. Maybe the Bears are not sold out on him, but I tell you what, more people in the league are. There are more people who probably believe Caleb Williams is that, right? So they're not trying to fuck around with us like that. They're not trying to do it. They're not trying to do it at all, bro. Any team that has that's within shooting distance to get Caleb Williams, they are not trying to. So forget that, right? Drake May. Teams love Drake May as a prospect, right? They're not trying to fuck with us like that. And other teams who are higher than us that need a quarterback, they take Jaden Daniels, right? So boom, those three guys are off limits, right? Now we possibly could get Jaden Daniels, right? But I digress. So now who's left? Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Spencer Rattler, guys like that, Joe Mel. So what do you do, Lake Show? I'm just asking, brother. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a Lake Show. Please put. I'm just ask me, bro. I'm asking. I need for you to tell me what you would do. Kingsbury did a Kawhi Leonard move on us. I mean, yeah, possibly. He did a little bait and switches, but it's cool, man. To me, okay. He's because Luke Getsy was trash last year, bro. Why are we defending this move all of a sudden? I'm not defending it. I just don't know if it might work. Last year, let's really look at this shit. Like I just said, is Luke Getsy's fault that Justin Fields is a limited passer? Everybody knew this when he was coming out of Ohio State. Everyone knew this, bro. When you're an offensive coordinator, what are you gonna do? You could develop the kid, but it doesn't mean that like we acting like Luke Getsy went in there and he has fucking Herbert or one of these guys who could sling the ball all around the field, and that was successful before he got there. The Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer in their history, ever. So I ask you, the F are you talking about? I'm not defending the move. I'm just not gonna shit all over it. That's not what I'm gonna do. That's asinine. It's asinine. I'm not gonna shit over it because it's people, places, and things. Maybe Luke Getsy fits in with what we're doing here. Maybe he fits in. But what I will say is that who are the other options? So would you guys have preferred us to go get Chip Kelly? Like y'all tell me in the chat who you guys would have preferred, right? We say about Clint Kubiak, the rumors are he was interviewed. He's going to the Saints. He's not an option. So who else would it be? It says everybody knows because I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Look, I like Pep Hamilton, right? Yo, I told y'all, like, I like Frank Reich. But, yo, they chose to go this route. And I'm not going to shit all over it. I'm just not going to do that. I don't think it's smart to do that. My brother, Jason Hunter, good morning, bro. Does this mean with the hiring Getsy, Fields is out? Yes. That's what that means. It also means that there's a possibility that the Bears keep Justin Fields. That's my personal belief. I have no knowledge of what's going on in the Bears organization, but I personally believe that the Chicago Bears are probably going to be at play with the Washington Redskins because Justin Fields, like I said, and people think that this is just a rumor, but where there's smoke, there's fire. These stories in the media, what I've learned from being a content creator and having access to certain information is that these stories don't just happen in a vacuum. People leak them for a reason. It is positioning to change the brain of the public brain trust. Caleb Williams is going to try to force his way out of Chicago. I'm telling you right now. And the team that he really would like to go to, his hometown team, has the second pick. And that's all I'm going to say. So when you look at it from that perspective, what if the Chicago Bears swap with the Washington Redskins, Commanders? I'm sorry, I'm old. They swap, and then the Bears take Marvin Harrison Jr., the consensus best player in this entire draft. Now things change for the Raiders. Now you have a chance to get up there and swap with Arizona to get up there to go get Jaden Daniels. And from what I've seen of Jaden Daniels, he's a much better passer than Justin Fields. Very dynamic, not as big as Justin Fields, but a better passer than Justin Fields. Now, some people say, well, the Bears' offense was worse than the Raiders. And what I will tell you is, yeah, because they were right up under us, right? But what I will also tell you is that the Chicago Bears beat us last year. I would also tell you that the Raiders have infinitely more talent on the offensive side of the ball. Infinitely more talent. And there was no excuse for us to be anywhere near the Chicago Bears. And this is pre-Aiden O'Connell. I'm talking about even when McDumbass was the coach. There was no excuse for that. No excuse for that. Dominique Five, based off his performance as an OC, this is a mistake. Look at his route combinations. They are horrible. Players are just confused on offense. His route Dominique Five, get to Dominique. Listen, bro, you've been a long-time supporter. You watch me. How the fuck do you know? Like, and no disrespect to you, bro. Hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? But yo, do you have access to their tape? Like, real rap, man. Come on, dog. Do you look at some of the guys who were over there playing for the Bears? They have DJ Moore. They have Justin Fields. They don't have a talented bunch of guys, right? You got Cole Kmet. But is it like a lot of times when the play breaks down, you don't know why that play broke down. I don't know. We don't know. We not in a locker room, bro. Give me a fucking day. Give me a clue. Please, bro. Give me a break. Mark Davis is a fool. Rick Nielsen, what the fuck? What are y'all talking? Look, I'm not gonna come in here and argue with my chat. But to me, these are two things I need to debunk, which is total bullshit. That somehow this is an indictment on Mark Davis because Kliff Kingsbury backed out. The circus alive and well. Keep supporting the bowl. AP might win half the games, but this is no Super Bowl in his future. How the fuck do you know, bro? How do you know? We don't even know who our starting quarterback's going to be, with the roster going. We don't know shit. The season's not even officially over yet for the rest of the National Football League. We don't know who we're going to get in free agency. We don't know who we drafted. You don't know. We don't fucking know. That's the biggest load of bullshit that I've ever heard. We don't know. You guys just want to be negative just to be negative. You have no fucking clue. You guys, a lot of you guys never even, you guys were shitting all over Kliff Kingsbury. You fucking break. Morning, Wasted. Love the show. The Bears handed us our ass this year. With who at QB? Short-term memories in here. Everyone chill. Raider Nation for life. The big Val Boski's in the place, man. My guy, Raider Manny V. I love Raider Nation, but damn, people act worse than a child with the signing that they don't like. Win, lose is Raiders through thick and thin. Only thing we got to do is wait and see and support the move. You don't even got to support the move. You don't have to support the move, but you got to remain objective. If you're a supporter of this team, you got to remain objective and you got to watch what happens around this move. That's the only thing I'm saying. Watch what happens around the move. Who we going to get at quarterback? Does that make sense? Do the players on the roster like Getsy? How is this all working out? It's like, come on, bro. This is the same logic that people use with Patrick Graham. People said, oh, the Giants defense was horrible. Why the fuck would they hire this guy? Things didn't go the way we wanted them to go. He needs his people. And even me, I was like, yo, when you look, last year, I didn't say nothing. Then when this season started, I said, yo, you got your people. So now I don't want to hear it. And when the season didn't go the way it went, then it was like, well, shit, is it Josh McDaniels too? Is he micromanaging that? Come to find out, he was. A lot of times, you know, the attitude reflects, you know, or the leadership reflects how the people under them, the people at the top are responsible for how the people below them perform. They are. So if you have a head coach who's trying to micromanage and act like he's Bill Belichick, yeah, of course you're going to have a problem with that. So when you get a guy like Antonio Pierce who allows you to do what you need to do and comes and brings some knowledge and says, hey, Pat, maybe you should go up in that booth. Hey, Pat, man, maybe we should try this. But allows Patrick Graham to be Patrick Graham. What happened? One of the best defenses in the league in the second half of the season. My guy Intel. But seriously, I'm not disheartened or impressed by this hire. It's a wait and see for me. And Intel, that is fair, bro. But y'all got to be fair to the Raiders, and you got to be fair to this move. This was not their first choice. It's apparent it wasn't their first choice. Kliff Kingsbury was, and he didn't want to be here. People are talking about Telesco, this, that. Look at the cap. Only thing I can look at is how he did with first round players. If I can have some of the players that Tom Telesco took in the first round, I'd be ecstatic. Are there other parts of what he did that didn't look great? Yeah. The contracts were not on him. And not for nothing, with Telesco, he's not going to deal with the contracts here, Tom. Delaney is. He handles the contracts. So, guys, like, I don't mean to cuss early in the morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. But free effing lax. Man, relax. Last one. Funny how people forget what AP stands on, which is business. You don't want to be here, fine. Whoever the new OC is, we will know what is expected. And that's a fact. It's crazy, man. All the fans know more than AP. All the fans know more than Tom Telesco, who's been part of championship teams, who was part of the Brain Trust, who helped build the Colts up and all these other teams. We know more than them now. Right? And then the thing about it is, you guys, like, nothing's happened yet. Look, what I'll tell you about Luke Getsy, the one thing he has for me over Kliff Kingsbury is the fact that he actually wants this job. That's one. The fact that he just wants to be here, period, is big for me. Big for me, man. It's huge for me. Shout out to GOAT Supreme Talent. Pay them bar tags. There's cookies here. Thank you, Foxpack. Appreciate you, bro. Demokes. Wasted. Remember I said AOC, MVP, incoming, maybe. Maybe Aiden O'Connell aligns with what Luke Getsy does. It kind of seems that way. I look at what he did with Tyler Bagent, right? Mayer and Jacobs are going to feast with Getsy as OC. And that's a great thing, too. Raider Laker. Ralph Morales. Let's let Getsy cook before judging. He had a kitchen and scraps. We got him access to fridge talent, man. Let the man get to work, man. My guy, Fred Hampton, in the place. Good morning, Wasted Raider Nation. I haven't seen this hiring anywhere except this channel. Where's his info coming on? Fred Hampton, you were a part of the Get Off My Lawn gang, my brother. And I will tell you, it is on Twitter. It is all over the wire. That is why everyone is here. I am not making this shit up. I'm Fred Hampton. I can see from your avatar that you're an older gentleman, so you probably aren't on social media like that. So, you know, the national news media will get a hold of it soon, my brother, in due time. Daniel Kim, doing a quick dive into the last coaching cycle. LaFleur said Getsy was a great communicator, organizational leadership with regards to drafting and player personnel, especially Fields. It's probably it. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact, bro. That is a fact. Let me get to some more of these supers. My guy Jason Hunter, man. A lot of people want to be able to say, I told you so. And that's also a problem. Like, do we want this team to win, or do we want to be right? Like, come the hell on, bro. Eli W. The air raid offense is a gimmick offense with no track record of consistent success. Kingsbury would have been a disaster. Now, Eli W. did say that before. He was not a fan of the Kingsbury move. Is Bo Nix 26? That would be two 26-year-old first-round QBs. I mean, you got to take into consideration Bo Nix had his time at Auburn and then, you know, sitting out. And then also you had the COVID year too. So, you know, you have some guys that might be a little older. Wasted. What do we know? Any options at right tackle if we draft Penix? Because he's a lefty. Top of the morning to you. My dog. Now, Big Lil Bosco, this is the thing, bro. Jermaine Illuminor might be brought back, but Thayer Munford played well, bro. I like Thayer Munford, man. I'm not just willing to just throw the baby out with the bathwater with Thayer Munford, man. And Wagner as well, man. My guy, Big Poppy, as Azel. Raider Nation, we always find a topic that splits the nation. I'm too old for this negativity shit. Let's let it play out. Love you, fam. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, my dog. Sugar Wolf. Fields will flourish without Getsy. Just watch while we have a horrible season. Bro, listen, bro. I can tell how knowledgeable you are from your avatar, my brother. You know what I mean? And your sketch skills, it's phenomenal. You know, bro, we don't know that, bro. We don't know. Like people, there were limitations to Justin Fields in college, bro. So whose fault was it then? Come on, bro. Well, all I'm saying is after Kingsbury fell through, we should have expanded our OC search. Only a few teams are left looking for an OC, but Walt, they already interviewed Getsy any fucking way. They interviewed and apparently they liked him. They had a big search. It wasn't like they just interviewed Kliff Kingsbury, Walt. They brought in Chip Kelly, brought in a lot of people, bro. He was probably one of the guys that was at the top of their list when they interviewed him. Right? And then when you look at the people that's involved, it's not like a who's who that's left out there that aren't on someone else's staff. Come on, bro. Walt, you better than that. You're a general to get off my lawn, gang. You got to do better, my guy, Walt. You got to do better. My guy, Lakeshore Raider. And this is why I told y'all mid-season that we should have lost out. But everybody wanted to argue me down saying it wasn't a big deal and we could just trade up. Bro, I'm never of the estimation of us losing out. I'm not, bro. Because it does like, yo, you have to build on winning with winning. You don't build on winning with losing, bro. You don't. And if had we not lost out, we wouldn't have Antonio Pierce as our coach. A lot of these players wouldn't be jacked and juiced to come back here and play for this organization and have such a positive mindset and attitude. Yo, winning begets when success begets success. In my life, I've always built on the successes that I've had. And I've had a lot of success in my life, right? I've always built on that. Losing can teach you, but if you don't turn losing around very, very quickly, it becomes like a stench. It becomes a disease. Losing becomes a disease, guys. It really, really does. It becomes a disease. And then how do you overcome it? How do you overcome it? Everybody just assumes that if Antonio Pierce is not our head coach, right, then it's Jim Harbaugh. But what happens if Antonio Pierce was let go and Jim Harbaugh goes to Los Angeles anyway? Now what? Who's the head coach there? Who's the next guy? Who do you bring in then? Everybody says, well, Ben Johnson. Well, Ben Johnson went back to Detroit. Ben Johnson did not want to go to Washington because Ben Johnson didn't like the NBA guys. He didn't think that he thinks that they think it's the NBA. He didn't like their mindset. He wasn't going to leave and go to Washington. How do we know he would have left and came here? Teaser, you're damn right. We need Shadow Fox to make sense of all this. Shadow Fox, where are you, Shadow Fox? Shadow Fox, we need you, brother. Where you at? Guys, we got almost 900 in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Christopher Lynn, and listen, I like Pep Hamilton, bro. I do. I like Pep Hamilton. But there's a reason he's been all over the league, man. T. Severe, always with a haymaker. It's important to see who our passing game coordinator will be. That person will play a vital role on this staff, and that's a fact, bro. That is a fact, yo. I think it's a lot of Raider PTSD happening right now. I need y'all to chill out with that shit, bro. Typical Raider fans with their knee-jerk reactions. I have to admit, I wasn't too excited about the hire, but we have to have faith in the process, man. I think so far the offseason looks great. I think it looks great. Larry Dean, they didn't even bring Frank Reich in for an interview. So I guess Frank Reich and the Raiders doesn't line up. Everything is not a fit. Just because Frank Reich did well in Philadelphia doesn't mean he's going to do well with these guys. His ideology might not line up with these guys. It's fit. You might be with one woman and go out on a date with her and never call her again. The next man will take that woman and marry her and have 10 kids with her. It's fit. Relationships matter. Fit matters. Jeez, man. My guy, DC, Raider Rich. I keep saying it, bro. I think we are going to shoot for JD. How do you think Getsy and JD match up? Jaden Daniels, look, man, I think Luke Getsy and Jaden Daniels match up well. You know what I'm saying? I think one player that Jaden Daniels reminds me of is Jordan Love. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Love. And I think, Getsy, I think he would line up pretty damn well. I'm gonna be honest with you. Eli W. Ain't nobody passes for 4,000 yards in the Windy City. That's another piece too. My guy David Zahn is in a place, man. Shout out to Dave Zahn, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Hate to say it, we may bring Hugh in as offensive advisor to help with this move. And I didn't want Hugh anywhere near this team. Well, Hugh's already been brought in. And I have no problem with Hugh being brought in. I just don't want him being an offensive coordinator. I think Hugh Jackson's an older guy. I want to see a young, innovative guy. Luke Getsy's a guy. He's 39 years old. I want the coaching staff and the players to line up. We don't need a guy in his mid-60s. And this is not an ageism thing, but I just really, really think that some of these young players need somebody that they can relate to, right? On Kubiak. His pop was a Bronco QB. Yes, we know who Gary Kubiak is, my brother, who coached him. His son is off the Shanahan staff. His pops, Mike, hates Allen the Raiders, so Kubiak as an OC to the Raiders wasn't going to happen. I think that's too much Raider gematria right there, bro. I really do. There's a lot of guys in his staff and stuff who have connections to people who, quote unquote, hate the Raiders, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. All I'm saying is, I hope Telesco's successful, but there's red flags for me. That you can flip and bounce that narrative with anybody we bring in, bro. Because if they're the greatest, most of the time they're still on the staff and they're not looking for a job. And that's another thing. Tuck the Jedi said DJ Moore has had 1,400 yards under this man's play calling and route combinations, but he's trash. Y'all goofy. I tend to agree with that, Chuck. I tend to agree with that, my brother. Tay was with Getsy in Green Bay, and Tay loved him. So we know more than Devontae Adams and Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco and all these other people. And that's crazy. Why y'all crying over a coach who clearly didn't want to be here? I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that. And listen, William Marchand, I'm gonna be funny. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. My wife, I'm in the office. My wife walked past because the office is right by the dining room and the kitchen in my house. My wife heard me and texted me. She says, "Babe," she goes, "You shouldn't be cussing like that." She said, "You shouldn't be cussing like that." Bro, my wife just corrected me too, bro. Shout out to you. I'm trying to get to some of these supers, man. I'm a little behind, man. If they start with AOC, I'm done with the Raiders. Well, Mo, look, man, I'm going to tell you something. They start AOC and you're done with the Raiders, then happy trails, my brother. Happy trails, because I'll never be done with this team. Happy trails, man. Happy effing trails to you. Get the F out of here if you're done with the Raiders. Don't look, man. Don't come in here with that, brother. Peace. Getsy isn't a hotshot OC hire, but neither was Kliff. The offensive situation in Vegas is better than Chicago. We said Bo was bad, but we also said if he had CJ or a better QB, we would be in the playoffs. And that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, man. Bourbon County, out of all the top QBs in the draft, I think this further cements we're pushing for GD. He had 4 times the rushing yards of any other QB. He completed 72% of his passes, 3,800 yards, 40 TDs. Faith to unproven. Rated B, wasted. Long time listener. When I tuned in today, I wanted you to talk me off a ledge. Not sure why I'm on a ledge. The hire's not even official. And, bro, it's not official yet, but even if it is official, how do we know that this is a bad, like, bro, it's not a bad, we don't know it's a bad hire yet. Talk to me in week 7 or 8, and let's see if it's a bad hire. Talk to me then. Until then, we don't know it's a bad hire or not. Luke Getsy is a good offensive, not a good offensive coordinator, but he's a good offensive mind. He's been around some success in this league. He's not a dumb guy. You know what I'm saying? It was just, maybe it was a bad fit for him in Chicago. And maybe the head coach, who was an offensive head coach. And a lot of times, man, when you got an offensive head coach, and this is something else that I want to bring up. When you got a guy like a Josh McDaniels, you got a guy like an Eberflus, right? These guys are supposed to be offensive gurus. What winds up happening is the offensive coordinator winds up getting scapegoated, and they wind up getting scapegoated for a lot of the decisions the head coach makes. It happens all the time in this league. It happens all the time. Eberflus is supposed to be the guy, right? And now it's all Luke Getsy's fault. It's funny, man. Ray Nation for life. It's funny, like, why do we need to be? You don't need to be okay with it. You need to let it play out. Raider Nation for life. You need to tell me why this is terrible. Just because of what happened in Chicago, you got to look at the whole picture. Justin Fields is not the greatest passer of the football, bro. He's not. You got to look at the personnel in Chicago. You have to look at the fact that they have a terrible offensive line. So, when you're starting to do all of this and you're lining this up and you're looking at it and you're putting everything together, you piecing it together, you're doing your Raider gematria, right? You're doing your Raider puzzle, putting the puzzle together. Why is nobody talking about that? Why does nobody talk about the fact this man won 2 games with Tyler Bagent? 2 games with a Division II undrafted quarterback with a terrible offensive line. He won 2 games with that guy. I'm just saying. And then you guys are getting mad at the Raiders for Kliff Kingsbury not wanting the job. They wanted to hire him. They offered him the goddamn job. He didn't want it. How is it his fault? How is it their fault? How? I've been positive way too long. Raiders keep Raidering. I hope for the best, but expect the worst. And I think if you're a negative guy and you're looking at it from this prism and you don't understand that everything is a process, then, bro, nothing I say is going to change your mind. And that's okay with me. It's okay with me. Do I think we trade up in the draft? I think we could try, but it all depends on if the people that you're trying to trade with are receptive to that. My brother, been bad, in the place to be. The general of the Get Off My Lawn game. As the OJ in here, thank you, Wasted. You are an inspiration. I'm grateful for you and your knowledge, and I'm glad you're part of the nation. The jabronis have no idea. Thank you, Ben Bad. I need some love this morning, bro. Thank you, man. The Bears have a crap O-line and 3 good offensive weapons. Let's relax, nation. I trust AP and Telesco. Indiana Raider, thank you for the $5 holla, man. Appreciate you for keeping the lights on here, Raider Nation Unlimited, bro. Sweet jazz. Has Raider Nation turned into a bunch of snowflakes? We forget that we just had a 6-time Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator as coach. And I will unceremoniously block myself if we push to get Fields without going after Penix or Nix. Relax! Wow! Man, I gotta that was my brother. My God, sweet jazz with the haymaker, bruh. The effing haymaker. It's a haymaker. I gotta put that one back up, man. Man, And brother's cooking, man. Sweet Jazz always cooking with the $20 holler, man. Thank you, my brother. Jose Toscano with the $10 holler, man. It's funny how some people in the chat think they know more than the coach who's won a Super Bowl as a player and knows more football inside and out. I'll say it again. Let AP do his job. Thank you. My guy DeMokes. Are these Raider fans or weenie whiners? If we gonna run the damn ball, then let's go and get an O-line with our first pick or get some defensive lineman help. Our GM knows how to pick O-line. Raiders, my guy, DeMokes. We got a new member of the Wasted Talent Army, Kuma Kong. Thank you for becoming a member of the Wasted Talent Army. Appreciate you, my brother. Chris, full Raiders. Good morning, nation. This can be worse than what we had last year. Why, as the greatest fan base in sports, we're so quick to cry. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Raiders, my guy, Raider Chris, man. Ross Celion. Forget Kliff. Not a great pivot, but at least not CK or EB. That's a fact, bro. My guy, Corey's in a place, man. Thank you, bro, for the 99-cent holla, bro. The $1 holla. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to my guy, Corey, for the Corrected Felon podcast. My brother, man. These young pups want instant gratification. Wait till at least week 8 to start complaining. That's right, old school. The Get Off My Lawn gang is strong in here today, man. My guy, wrong way. Maybe you're new here. We've seen this hire before. This is not an OC that scores points. It's the same boring play call. Well, bro, you're limited to the abilities of your quarterback. He's not been offensive coordinator than anyone else. He inherited Justin Fields. He when he was the passing game coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, it looked good because he had a Hall of Fame quarterback. They were lighting it up. So wrong way, maybe you're new here. But what I'll tell you is I've probably been a Raider fan before you were born. And I'm not new here, and I understand what happens. And I'm going to tell you something. I think you're objectively wrong. My guy, Mr. Rogers, man. To be honest, I've reached one. I've watched one Bears game last year, and we got our ass beat. So we can't act like I know how he runs his system. Guessing if they were a top run team last year in passing, teams will stack the box. What are your thoughts? The thing is, people, places, things, and personnel. The way that he ran his offense with the Chicago Bears will be totally different because he's going to have different pieces here in Las Vegas, bro. And when you have a quarterback like Justin Fields, people dare you to throw and they stack the box, right? It's not going to be the case with us based off of who we pick. When they know you have a limited passer, run first kind of quarterback, that's what they do. They stack the box. It's football, brother. My guy, Javi Anaya, the $5 holler, man. Fans were not high on Patrick Graham, and look at them now. If we do not get a top 3 QB, do you think we roll with AOC or go in all in the offensive line? No, I think we go and go get a vet. And I think we drafted a guy that's a mid-round guy as well. Because, listen, man, and then now it's the competition. But I don't think they're going to ever give Aiden O'Connell just the keys and say, hey, this is your team. Even if they go and they draft a guy like a Spencer Rattler. Even that, they're going to say, hey, you know what? Go out there and win the job, Aiden. As they should. He's a 4th-round pick. It's his 2nd year in the league. They should make him go and win the damn job. Whomever they bring in. But I think that the pivot will go to free agency. It'll go to free agency. Or maybe it all depends. It all depends, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. So many people in here, man. Dantisa, Kubiak is already marked to go to the Saints. So that was never an option. And that's a fact too, bro. Shout out to the 900 of y'all that's in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. It's so early in the morning. Hammer's in the place to be. Hammer, what it is, bro? Hammer's in the place to be. Yo, my guy, Dave Zahn is in the place to be. Please, people, stop trying to ram down our throats about trading for Justin Fields. The guy can't win. Shout out to Dr. Strange 1, too. That's a dope picture of Dr. Strange. We need an O-line. backup D-line, pray things go well. That's a fact. I knew I should have drove down today. What you mean? Drove down where, Hammer? Mac tonight. You can spray perfume on shit all you want. Our offense does not look good with Getsy. How the fuck do you know? So I cursed again on Sunday. You making me cuss, Mac, tonight. The F is wrong with you. Yo, Corey, you were about to be unceremoniously blocked with that Detroit Lions nonsense in here. Shout out to you, bro. Yo, I think the nation is just trained to be pessimistic and cynical after all these years of mediocrity. Too much knee-jerk reactions. Let's have this move play out. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, brother. Damn, I am behind as hell on the chat, man. I saw some good clips of Getsy down at the Senior Bowl, and that's another thing. He's been down at the Senior Bowl, so that's a good thing as well, man. Seems smart, personable, and the players listened and responded to him. He knows how to talk to players, and that's what AP is looking for. My dog, Raider Felon. Rain is a faith-based coach and push religion. Wait, he's not a locker room fit. I don't know what we're talking about here, but Marcella Brown, the nation doesn't need to be scolded and parented. It's okay to have different views. Let it be a safe place to disagree without judgment. Curious what Andy would say. Look, what the nation needs is the nation needs to calm down. We need to calm down. We don't know what the heck's going on. How can we come here and have a real discussion about football, Marcella? How can we have a real discussion without any information? The only information we have is how he did with the Bears, the roster he had, the roster we have now, and the fact that people around the league think he's a damn good coach. And a lot of people don't think what happened in Chicago was totally his fault. All we got is the facts at this point, Marcella. But what I need for people to stop doing is stop making proclamations when he hasn't even had a press conference yet. Come on, man. Sean Donahue, everybody all up in arms like they have any idea who this dude is or what he's capable of. They don't. Dupree, you're the reason why I'm no longer a Raiders fan anymore. You know what, Dupree? I'm glad. Because that means you're probably a douchebag and we didn't need you in Raider Nation. F you. And the horse you rode in on. And I hope whatever team you root for sucks for the rest of your miserable life. F you. Dupree. And today, on a Sunday, the Lord's Day, Dupree will be the first person who was unceremoniously blocked. The F out of here, Dupree. The F out of here. Effing bum. Unceremoniously. Graphic says this wasn't the move at all. Hey, it might not be. But I don't give a damn. I'm not going to sit up here and say it's not the move. Why is it not the move? How do we even know it's not the move? How do we know? We don't know yet. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, it's totally not the move. It's terrible. Graph, yo, I got dirt on you, doggy. Bring your ass in here so we can argue about this. Good morning, Wasted. Can you see this hire as possible a move to acquire the services? No, they hate each other. No, Justin Fields does not like him. And to be honest with you, I want us to draft a quarterback, bro. I don't want to reclaim nobody else's trash. And I want somebody who's a thrower of the football first. So no, I've changed my mind on Justin Fields. The F out of here, Graph. I can't wait till you go live too. I can't wait till you go live too. Love your show today. Cuss these fans out. I'm over it. I can't wait till you go live too, Graph. Terrible high. I don't give a F. There are way better options out there. Yo, we ain't never throwing the ball again. Who are the way better options, Graph? You fucking name them. Kubiak is not coming here, bro. Who are the better options? Who are the better options? And yo, the Green Bay Packers could throw the ball when he was the passing game coordinator when he had Aaron Rodgers. So none of this shit falls on the lap of Justin Fields. None of this falls on the lap of Matt Eberflus. None of it. It's all on him. With an organization who hasn't had a 4,000 passer in its history? Give me a goddamn break. I'm not going to yell at the scream. Get the F out of here with that, Docs. Docs, you know what? I'm calling you now. The F. I don't even know if you up. I'm calling you now, Graf. You're on speaker. I don't know if you're still watching.
You want to get on the show, huh?
Yeah, I want to argue with you right now, goddammit. Everybody, Graf is on the phone. What the F are you talking about, Graf?
Bro, look, man. You know me and you the most optimistic Raider fans in the world, right? You know this, right? Like we keep a lot of our people, you know what I mean, off that ledge. Let me do this real quick. Hey, I'm on the ledge with y'all, man. This shit is terrible, bro. This was a nasty move. Terrible move. Disgusting. There was better options out there. I know some Bear fans, and they're literally, bro. If I show you these text messages I got, I'm going to send them to you this morning. They literally in the group chat were literally just laughing at me for 30, 45 minutes. Real shit. Like, we got the worst option out there available, bro. And I know Getsy has familiarity with Devontae from Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? I know all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I know he helped develop him. I know he helped Aaron Rodgers have 2 MVP years in Green Bay and blah, 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 bro. He failed to develop Justin Fields. I know that offensive line wasn't great. Yeah, they were the second best running team in the league, I think, the last 2 years. Great. His play calling his ass, bro. And look, I'm sorry, bro. This is nasty. This is disgusting, bro.
Graf.
I would rather have Kliff Kingsbury. I would rather have Frank Wright. I would rather have had all the other shit. There's other options out there, bro. This is just nasty work.
If I'm being honest, would I rather have Frank Wright? Yeah. But they didn't even interview Frank Wright, right? Chip Kelly was interviewed. Chip Kelly was passed over. People are talking about Kliff Kingsbury, right? But Kliff Kingsbury turned the damn job down. He turned the job down, bro. So, like, how can you hold this against the Raiders for Kliff Kingsbury not wanting to coach? He's the one who withdrew his name for consideration.
First of all, let me say something. I don't care about no Kliff Kingsbury. Fuck that motherfucker, bro. Like, hey, he left without a deal.
You're cussing on the Lord's Day, Graf. You are a goddamn heathen. Did I just cuss too?
That was even more nasty than what you just doing. Yo, but hey, man, look. This ain't about Kliff Kingsbury, bro. This is about Getsy. No, man, this was not it. And to be honest with you, this is the worst hire thus far. I'm still gonna be here forever, like you. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna ride this thing out together. But all I'm saying, bro, is I love all the other minds brought in. I love, Marvin Lewis. I love that he brought in Hugh at some capacity. You know what I'm saying? I love, Andre Carter, defensive ends coach. I love our new running backs coach. No, this was the worst hire for the most needy position that we had, bro. Offense was ugly as hell last year, and you go out and get the most mid mind at the offensive coordinator, bro.
It's funny to me because this is a guy who helped develop Jordan Love, who is throwing the ball all over the field and is doing well. So Matt Eberflus, he's an offensive genius, correct? Supposedly.
No, you know me, I've never liked him before.
All right, but I'm just saying that's the reason why he was hired. So he's the head coach, and now the development of Justin Fields falls strictly on the shoulders of the offensive coordinator, who gets overrode by the head coach. Now, people around league circles have had this guy in and interviewed him all over the league. Almost every single job that was available, this guy's got an interview for. And why was that? Because people in the league respect this guy.
Well, it's not just that, though, brother. This realistically wasn't a great time to need an offensive coordinator, bro. There wasn't a lot of great options out there to begin with. Zach Robinson, Clint Kubiak, I think those are the top guys. Then you got the Kliff Kingsburys of the world and shit. Like Zach was, when he went to Atlanta, I already knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, damn, bro, we're pretty much going to take whatever we can get at this point. I think that we literally went to the bottom of the barrel with this. And you say Jordan Love, bro, like Jordan Love was there. That man wasn't looking good under this guy. bro. Like Jordan Love he just went crazy. Let's not act as though Jordan Love was Jordan Love. Like he has failed to develop quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers was already at the pinnacle of his career when he had those 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
So let's not so Getsy did anything in order to help Aaron Rodgers with that. Let's just keep that a buck, bro. Aaron was Aaron. You know what I mean? This guy.
Yeah, hey, bro, and I said that at the beginning of the show, but Graf, I'm gonna be honest with you. And Eberflus, from what I understand, is a defensive guy, right? Because I don't know much about Eberflus. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie like I do. But what I'm saying is that I am not going to go up here and say that this guy is terrible and this is a terrible hire. You're only bound by, what you have as your second choice. Going back to Chip Kelly at this point, they didn't hire the guy. He was a second choice. Chip Kelly's probably like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm going to stay at UCLA, right? Then Kubiak. Kubiak's not an option. Zach Robinson's not an option, right? Frank Reich, I haven't heard anybody even interview Frank Reich at this point. I like Frank Reich, but I haven't heard anybody interview him. So what are the options? And that's the thing. Pep Hamilton's been around the league, has some success, but it's not the greatest.
No, he doesn't need to be a coordinator. If anything, quarterback's coach at like the highest position. He does not need to be a coordinator, offensive coordinator at all. I mean, look, and this may sound crazy, wasted. This may have been one of the moves, like, bro, where I would have brought up our wide receivers coach. I would have did something different, bro.
I can't agree with that. I can't bring up a guy that's that inexperienced with an inexperienced coach that's a defensive guy, right? So I need a guy with some experience that's young and innovative, right? So I don't know how innovative this guy is. I'm not going to go up here and shit all over it because I think there's something that's happened to where they feel like what he does lines up with what they're trying to do. And having a Hugh Jackson in the building is also good because now you have another competent guy in the building. I'm not going to shit all over it. I'm not. I'm really not. Like so. Then these are the same people who shit all over. Well, go ahead, brother.
I got enough shit for everybody, bro. So don't worry about it. We don't need you to shit on it. I got plenty of it. Do not worry, King. I will be going at this move for the next 2 weeks because I don't like it at all.
Well, you know what? I'm glad we finally disagree on something.
Hey, this is nasty, bro. This is nasty, bro. I seen it late last night, and I just said, you know what, man? I don't even know what else to do, bro. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Yeah. I can't deal with this shit, man. Like, bruh. I gotta show you these screenshots. I'm gonna send you these screenshots of my guys.
Yeah, send it to me. Now, look, a lot of people are talking about Eric Bieniemy, bro. I think Eric Bieniemy's been successful. I don't want somebody that's coming here and the Chiefs already got a back door into his whole scheme. Eric Bieniemy for other teams, great. For us, no. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I don't think he's anybody, to be honest, bro. That was never the move for me, ever. I don't want Eric Bieniemy.
I didn't want him either. So, bro, this is my thing. Who else?
I thought people were going to do that, bro. I thought that they were going to try and do this whole let's figure out Andy Reid by bringing in Eric Bieniemy. I'm happy they didn't go that route. To be real with you, I would rather have Getsy than Eric Bieniemy. So, you know what? You found one guy that I may be like, I'm cool, because I had a feeling they were going to go that route just to try and, stump Andy Reid. And we didn't do it. So
let me ask you a question. Does my Jay Gruden take earlier this offseason, does it seem crazy now?
Hey, Severe, let me tell you something, bro. You can't tell me what I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. You act like you're a specialist sometimes, Severe, and it kills me sometimes, bro. You have your opinions, I have my opinions, bro. I'm not talking stats right now. I'm not talking any of that. I'm not even going to anything, bringing any stats to the table. I'm talking about my pure opinion.
Yeah, and bro, look, the answer to this is nobody is right. We don't know yet. And that's really what I'm saying. I'm not coming here and selling this to the nation. I'm telling everybody to fucking relax. We don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, well, look, at the end of the day, man, this is the one thing that people got to realize with us. We're just Raider fans at the end of the day, too. Yeah, we may do some cool little podcasts and shit like that. Bro, I'm a Raider fan. When I leave this shit alone, I'm going to be a Raider fan. Before I pick this microphone up, I was a Raider fan.
That's a fact.
So I'm always going to be emotional about this team, bro. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So the chat can say whatever they feel and how they feel. I just feel like this was a bad move, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I'm watching that Chicago offense, and I did a lot because I have this battle rap group with my guys, with Lonnie. Salute to my boy Lonnie. He's from Chicago. He's a Bears fan. we always watch each other's teams close because we let it talk shit about each other in these group chats. But like, I always watch the Bears. I always hate the Patriots, but I watch them because of my boy Will, and then my boy Q is a Cowboys fan. So I love, misery loves company. You know this, right? So I just watch their teams very close to see them die a miserable death every year. And I watch Chicago very close, and I understand, bro, the Division II guy bringing them in and having to start them, and Justin Fields going down with the injury, the O-line being beat up a little bit.
He won 2 games with that Division II guy, and he actually beat us too. So I'm looking at it. How come he gets no credit for that?
What?
Him beating us with Tyler Vagent, a Division II undrafted free agent.
Okay, so I mean, hey, Josh McDaniels was there. We'll chalk that shit up as a L. Is what it is. I mean, shit, we lost to Nick Mullins. I mean, do we have to pull this out back out there?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, he won 2 games with an undrafted Division II free agent, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the offense didn't look terrible then, right? And then we also got to look at the go ahead, bro.
Chicago, great defense, bro. At that point, they had already traded for Montez Sweat. Right, bro, that defense was nice, bro.
But they played Detroit well too, bro. And I know that's a divisional matchup. So when I'm looking at it, Graf, to be real with you, I'm not gonna lay the failures of Justin Fields and the Chicago offense and them being very limited in what they can do because of Fields' limitations as a passer squarely on his shoulders. I'm gonna be real with you. Justin Fields had limitations coming out of Ohio State, and that's one of the reasons why. A lot of people he went down to 11, right, in the draft.
Well, hey, and that's great, bro. At the end of the day, if you fail to develop him, that's your job, bro. I'm watching Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, in the fucking Super Bowl this year. I don't want to hear shit, bro. I don't care about that. Your first round pick, you failed to develop him. That was his job, bro. That was his one and only job to develop Justin Fields, bro. And now Fields for sure is not coming over here. And I seen there was a report that came out of an article that a lot of people said that they don't like each other and so on and so forth. I actually seen this article that Getsy actually gave Justin.
No, he gave him a lot of flowers. I spoke about that earlier, bro. He gave him a lot of flowers.
Yeah, so but I mean, hey man, this shit ain't leather, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. This shit ain't leather at all, bro. I'm just letting you know. But hey, Graf, look, man, look. This is one of them ones, bro. Where look, I agree with some of the things you're saying, but bro, I can't come in and just shit all over this because I don't have another solution. What's the other solution based off of the people that they interviewed in the hiring process?
Oh no, look, bro. I'm gonna let this thing play out. This is my initial response, and you getting it live and living color, bro. Like I don't like this hire at all. And look, this isn't me saying I don't hope it works, and I'm hoping I say I was wrong. Yeah, I'm hoping I literally in the middle of the season, I'm like, yo, I was wrong about this. I'm hoping and praying that is the case.
Yeah, the only thing I can do is I can look at the negative and the positive, and I'm going to surmise what I want in the middle of the season, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to come, look, am I wishing that it was someone else? You know who my list was. My list was, Frank Reich, then it was Kliff Kingsbury, and then after that, I say, hey, man, try to bring in a Pep Hamilton or Zach Robinson or a guy like that, right? But all these guys are gone at this point. We thought we had Kliff Kingsbury. We don't. And there were issues with that hire because a lot of people said we have a defensive team bringing in an air raid offense, a tempo offense, that there's a lot of fast 3-and-outs and things like that. You're going to have a gas defense, and that's not the greatest thing. But at this point, bro, I'm not trying to sell this to the nation, but I'm telling people to fucking relax because we don't know if it's the end of the world yet. We don't know.
The one thing I hope they do, Waste it, to be real with you, bro, look, I do believe Josh Jacobs is going to come back because this guy loves to run the football. And the thing is, Josh, his representation is going to know that. And they're going to ask for a shit ton of money because of it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm hoping that we just go draft a guy, mid-round guy, and then hopefully he pans out. We can pair him with Zeus because I'm telling you now, bro, Josh Jacobs' representation would be crazy to not ask for north of $10 million because Getsy may run this guy's kneecaps into the ground.
Well, thank you for putting that in their head too, Graf. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yo, Edgar V, you effing relax, Edgar V. For you get unceremonious. It's like, nah, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You guys can get crazy with this. Everybody has their right. Me, I choose to not be so high or so low on this because look, a lot of the same things that are said about Getsy was said about Patrick Graham, even though Patrick Graham had more success than Getsy. What I'm going to lean on is I'm going to lean on his time as a passing game coordinator. They did pretty good in Green Bay. I'm going to lean on the fact that I've seen him do some really good things in Chicago and in context to, Justin Fields being a limited passer. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to let it play out, man. I'm not going to come in here and just destroy this guy. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. But Grab, look, appreciate you, brother. I know you're away. I know you're going to cook. And I know we're going to be arguing about this for the next probably month.
Yeah, I'll be home tonight, man. So I'm gonna get my stuff set up and stuff, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. Hey, once again, man, I don't look for reasons to be mad at this team, man. I look at the glimmer of hope all the time, bro. I'm always that glass half full type guy, man. But this situation, bro, just I think going from Kliff Kingsbury, it's just like going from that specific situation, how it planned out, and then hiring this guy immediately. It's like it just looks really bad, bro. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Kliff Kingsbury was the answer. To be real with you, this is more about Getsy. But just how this played out, it looks really bad, bro. Like this is a black eye on our organization, bro. To watch
a black eye already, Graf. Already, Graf. I totally disagree with you, bro.
To fumble Kliff Kingsbury in one day and hire this guy the same day. That is
a nasty. Black eye, bro. You act like Kliff Kingsbury is Mike Holmgren or some shit,
bro. No, once again, you're taking what I'm saying about Kliff Kingsbury as though this guy is a phenomenal talent. That's not the case. I'm saying, bro, we allowed this guy to withdraw, walk out the building, and we hire Getsy the same day. That looks nasty. That is nasty work. I don't care if Kliff Kingsbury came in and we scored negative 19 points a game. If that was your guy, that was your guy. You let your guy leave and brought in another guy on the same day and hired him. That is nasty, nasty work, bro. It's like literally going to ask somebody to prom. The one girl says no or agrees to on the day. She says no. You go to the little nasty mid chick in the corner and ask her to go with you.
Damn, he got to be the nasty mid chick. Grab you bugging, bro. You bugging. That's not. Listen, bro. This is a guy that they interviewed already. So
hey, congrats. Hey, they interviewed him and they didn't hire him.
Graf, get the F out of here. And I'm gonna tell you something, Graf. I totally disagree with you, but I respect what you're saying, brother. And I just want to tell you one thing before I leave, man. That shit ain't leather. That's all I want to tell you, bro. That's it. Shit ain't hardly leather, bro.
Yo, who the fuck are you, man?
Yo, listen. So it's all good though, bro. Listen, I can't wait to argue with you on the air, bro.
All right, bro. Hey, well, look, I'm gonna be ready, motherfucker. I haven't had my coffee yet, so let me get booming, man, from Austin back to Dallas, and when I get there tonight, man,
listen, I'll pull up on you, bro, and I will argue with your ass, and I'm gonna tell you just like this: I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Nah, man. I'll see you later, brother. Peace, man. So y'all heard it there. A sad day for Ray. Bro, I'm gonna tell y'all what a sad day for Raider Nation was, bro. Sad day for Raider Nation was when we hired Lane Kiffin. That was a sad day. This is not a sad day for Raider Nation, man. Get the F out of here, bro. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. But guys, listen, man. We gonna listen. This is one of them things we gonna have to we got to see how it turns out. I'm gonna be honest with you. Wasted sounds like he did when we got McDaniels, and Graf sounds like an angry BM on a collect call. Sad day for Raider Nation. Shut up, Ruben Russ. Yeah. He said the nasty mid chick, yo. Yeah, look, we both being hyperbolic. I look, I'm not sounding like I did with Josh. I was a lot more on board with Josh McDaniels than this. I'm gonna be real with you. I told y'all I'm not in favor of it, but I'm not like totally shitting on it. I don't know yet. I don't know enough about this guy. Like even me, I didn't really know a lot about Eberflus. I thought he was an offensive guy. He's a defensive guy. I was wrong on that. I don't know a lot about the Chicago Bears. I don't pay attention to the Chicago Bears because they're not our competition. I worry about the AFC and the AFC West. Especially now, I don't watch as much of the league as I used to since I started doing this podcast because I got to focus on the Raiders and I got to focus on the people and I got to focus on college, things of that. There's only so many hours of the day. And my job is really demanding as well. So So I don't really focus on the NFC as much as I possibly should. You know, before I got into this, I used to watch the whole league and watch the Bears like that. I could tell you like this, I'm not going to shit on this move. You know, same thing. And T-Severe, I got to agree with you, right? Remember when people said Indy and Chris Ballard was one of the league's best GMs and he mishandled the Josh McDaniels situation? I don't think you mishandled a situation. And I'm going to save this for later when we're on the screen again. I'm not going to argue with the screen, man. Shout out to my brother. But my brother Graf, you know, I can't sit up here and say they mishandled it if they had a guy that they thought they had an agreement with and he in his infinite wisdom decided to walk out of the building. How am I going to put that on the Raiders? I can't do that. And Crispin, the thing about it is I don't know if it's a need to rush. We don't know what their list looked like in the building. Maybe he was their second guy. Maybe he was their second guy. Maybe he was their second guy. We don't know what their list looked like. Maybe he was their second guy, the same way us hiring Tom Telesco. Everybody in their mind thought, hey, it's either Champ Kelly or Ed Dodds. And when it was neither, everybody went fucking crazy. And I don't think that that's a sound way to look at this. He might have not. It might not have been a panic move. He might have been a guy that was in the running for the job. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But guys, listen, man, we've been at this for an hour and 40 minutes, man. My guy, Posse. Hey, bro, first time watch. I would like to tell you to answer this question. So obvious, we're not going to get Justin Fields. So obviously, we're not going to trade for Caleb. So now what are we going to do? And bro, listen, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe we can move up to get Jaden Daniels. I mean, everybody has made this romantic kind of a scenario where we get Caleb Williams. And what I'm telling you is that was a pipe dream anyway. It's very hard to get up to number 1 from 13, man. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very hard. My guy, Sweet Jazz. Caleb and Kingsbury may end up in Washington. If this move unlocks our ability to get JD, then it was all worth it. And I think, and this is what I was talking about before, I think it is. My guy, Corey, man, appreciate you, brother. The Lions and the Raiders and next year's Super Bowl. I'm calling it with the Lions winning, though. Love you, bro. Yo, got much love, Corey, man. Thank you, bro, for supporting the channel, my brother. Appreciate you, dog. Call A. Hearns. We got the coach we wanted. Now it's our turn to trust in AP. Raiders. Shout out to my guy, man. Abstract Raider, man, with the $5 holler, man. Appreciate you. Good morning, Wasted. Real spit, though. It's a blessing in disguise that Kliff exposed his egotistical traits from the jump and not cause tension mid-season. That's a fact. Now, that's a fact because I believe in being a man of your word, right? So when you're not a man of your word, you know, to me, that's a lot of how I view Kliff Kingsbury. And it's not the first time he's done something like this. They all can't be zingers. Shout out to my guy Nada, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for supporting the channel. My guy AC Yabaro, member for 3 months. Most importantly, this new guy wants to be a Raider. Hey, man, listen. I tend to look at it that way as well. I man. I do, man. I tend to look at it that way as well. Fans were not high enough on Patrick G, and look at them now. If we do not get a top 3 QB, do you think they roll with AC? And I told you before I answered that before, bro, listen, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They possibly could. I hope they don't. I hope they bring somebody in and compete with them. But guys, look, we've been going at this almost 2 hours, man. It's time for me to go get back in the gym. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful morning, man. Wake up, we're wasted. It's concluded. Love every single one of y'all, man, and appreciate y'all. And yo, let me tell y'all something, man. Hold on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Over 1,000 of y'all was in the chat, man. You scroll down, man. Yo, we won games with Bo Hardigree too, guys. So remember that, man. But guys, listen, things are looking up. I'm not going to sit up here and shit all over everything that's happened, bro. But what I will tell you is this. Was this the first guy that I wanted? No. Is he the worst guy in the world? Is he like the Antichrist? No. I'm not going to say that to y'all. So listen, y'all, Hammer is going live next. Pull up. I didn't even know Hammer was still in the place to be. Shout out to my guy Hammer, man. But yo, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. We getting out of here, man. And guys, don't jump off the cliff. Nothing has really happened yet. Let's see who we draft at quarterback. Let's see how this transpires. And let's see if we can make sense of all of this when they have the press conference. Graphic Raider says, gas station Jordans, this, that move. Yo, get the F out of here. This is Graph Station Sushi, man. Yo, he said, I didn't even know they sold Jordans at the gas station, yo. Y'all are tweaking, man. But, yo, y'all have a freaking terrific day, man. Peace, y'all. Y'all know, man. Yo, like I say, man, yesterday's price is not today's price, man. In some people's eyes, the price is going higher. The price is going lower in other people's eyes. Me, the price is the same. I think yesterday's price is still today's price, bro. I'm not going to sit up here and jump out the window with this. You have a wonderful day, man. Peace.